Well, you know, this is just like when it happened to Destiny. I know it's basically gonna be that. We all know where this is going, I think. They can't be involved in Democrat politics. And I don't buy that. They have set a standard for themselves to which they couldn't possibly live up. That's the general position. I think. General position is lying is bad. In like the most authoritative tone ever. Like there's no way she could be wrong. She would just talk down to her audience, talk down to people who ask questions. Really? Really you can't introspect and figure out why you've got so many people that hate you just a little bit? Everything she did, every time Erudite talks, it's just about Destiny. Pretty much every single time. So, she had the stream yesterday. I think we've got some dumb stuff that was said in this somewhere. So let's take a look. Still no haircut. What did you think I was going to get a haircut like today? What do you think was going to happen? Well, nice orange sweater, Buster. Dude, what's with the criticism? Why am I getting this from Liam the Professional? Hop off my dick, bro. This guy's in my chat every day, hating. Alright. Okay.
I was, again, fine with that, but of course, the only person who was receiving photos...
Just to be clear...
So, Erudite's covering the Harry Sisson stuff here, okay? That's where we start. The Harry Sisson stuff. And we're going to cover the Harry Sisson stuff a bit more ourselves in a bit, I think, because there's a lot of responses from his friends. And there was some really dumb... I think it was on The Hill. There was some segment about it. So we'll take a look at that in a bit. Why the curtain? Because I've got limited space, and this... There's other stuff on the other side of the curtain, and this is to... what? It creates a barrier. What do you mean? When did this Liam the Professional thing happen? Well, what is this? Because you're really good at building up YouTube channels. You're like a professional at it. Everyone started calling you Liam the Professional.
Saying that you don't have a roster is not the same thing as saying that you're exclusive in any way, shape, or form. In fact, it sounds like not a single girl has come forward to say that he has told them that they were, in fact, exclusive. There's been no evidence of that whatsoever, other than this girl interpreting it to mean that there were no other girls. Okay? All of the leaks to this point include him saying, just so you know, we're not exclusive, and my bad if I didn't make that more clear earlier. I just want to be very clear that we're not exclusive. Every single girl who has talked about this situation seems to have been under the impression that it was casual, increasingly romantic and flirty and sexual, all over text, and then at some point delivered the not exclusive. The reason why Carly made the first video about any of this is she had been pulling away for a while, and then he released this video with some anonymous girl stroking his cheeks
I should probably move my camera
taking a photo.
as well,
She
right?
claims his neck is covered in hickeys.
Yeah.
I don't really see hickeys. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Just gonna say. I think to see hickeys in that video requires a high level of zooming in and fixating.
Okay.
So, as of right now, Harry has not apologized for his behavior. However, Dean and Parker have distanced themselves, said that they're not friends with them anymore. Them being Harry Sisson and Chris Mowry. Chris Mowry's caught up in this, because he's super, super close to Harry. I think they're like, it's like Dean and Parker, Harry and Chris. And he's in this video where they're saying, nah, she's crazy. Nah, you're good, bro. That's why Chris is involved in all this. He has no other claims against him. So, what are people's issues here? One of the biggest issues that I think is actually worth engaging with is fake male feminists. Stroke his cheeks, I suspect.
No, I just know this is going to be painful. I'm just waiting for it to give any real opinion. I know it's going to be fucking horrendous. I know it's just going to be basically a veiled... Well, you know, this is just like when it happened to Destiny. I know it's basically going to be that. We all know where this is going, I think.
So, I have for a long time had a strong dislike of fake male feminists. And to be clear, I've never been convinced that Harry Sisson isn't one of these people. In large part because I think to be towing the PC liberal democratic line, you basically have to do a lot of posturing around women's stuff specifically, or you cannot be part of the left group.
Okay, this is true. I agree with her on this. And here's the thing, is that this is fundamentally, like, one of the most annoying things about this Harry Sisson thing. Is not only people defending him, first of all, don't realize that he would literally never stick his neck out for anyone else. Literally ever. There is actually zero chance Harry Sisson would ever stick his neck out for any guy being unfairly cancelled for like minor social faux pas when talking to women. Zero chance. Zero chance. Absolutely no chance. Would never happen. First, that's the first annoying thing. Second annoying thing is there's this bullshit narrative being pushed. And we're going to watch a video that says this later as well. This bullshit narrative being pushed that basically, because Harry Sisson is being kicked out of his friend group and the Dem Shill group and all that stuff, basically it tells young straight men that they can't be involved in Democrat politics. And I don't buy that. The people telling young straight men that they can't be involved in Democrat politics are Harry Sisson, Parker, Dean Withers, and this Chris loser. It's them. They're the sorts of people that make young men not want to be involved. Because they make a million TikToks calling out whatever podcast, being like, oh, whatever podcast objectifies women. Red pill content objectifies women. All this shit. No fucking guy wants to hear that shit. All you're saying there is, like, the content you like is evil, basically. The content you like, the way you think about things, that's evil, and you hate women because you think of it that way. They're the ones that push young men away. They are in no way, like, relatable, or like the bro whisperer that they're being pushed as. It's so fucking annoying. And I get people say, oh, you just hate them because they remind you of you. Very close, and there might be a part of that going on. However, the real reason why I hate them so much is because they're meant to be targeted at me. They're meant to be targeted at me, people like me, people who are like how I used to be. It's targeted at me. It's meant to be for people like me. People who would have been sort of like centrist, maybe leaning right a little bit, but willing to hear out left-wing stuff when they were like 18. That was me. And I know what appealed to me back then. And I know it's not fucking them. So the idea that New York Times is writing fucking puff pieces, being like, oh yeah, these are the bro whisperers. This is who's gonna save the left for the Dems. It's like, dude, fucking planet are you living on? It's so fucking annoying. It is because it is. Anyone could tell you. Anyone who's not like a menopausal woman could tell you that they do not appeal to young men. Anyone could tell you that. It's not fucking difficult to figure out. What is there for young men to like about fucking Dean Withers? Yeah, so I got into politics because I just wanted to be better, and that's political, I guess. You don't respect women? Yikes. Die. It's fucking horrible. I hate it.
Like, you will get kicked out, especially as a man. As a woman, you have a little bit more flex, right? Most women would agree that I'm left-leaning. They just don't like that I have, like, atypical feminist perspectives. But I wouldn't get kicked out because I'm a girl. For a man, especially to be in the very traditional, democratic, liberal, PC space, you have to be very pro-women, right? You have to respect women. That's, like, the biggest thing. And I'm not saying respecting women is good or bad. What I am saying is that the Democrats certainly don't care, and it's definitely not part of the culture or the prerequisites to respect men. There's an obvious level of unique treatment that the left gives women. You know, you might say that that's justified. And to some degree, I would say, I agree with you. The question is it justified in this situation? So there are the girls that are coming forward. A lot of them are wanting him to be canceled. They want his career to be over. They think that basically all of his values are fake. One, I do not know how you exist in the liberal space as a white young male and not have some level of performative feminism, because it's required. Now, I will say for Harry that...
No, it's not. It is not required for you to be a completely bullshit fake skinwalker. No. It's not. I hate this, man. I hate this. It's like that. Oh, well, they have to be completely plastic fake skinwalkers who aren't honest with their audiences. No, they don't. No, they don't. They actually don't. Like, they want Dean Withers. Like, literally, this was the whole thing. This is the whole bro whisperer thing. They want Dean Withers, Parker, Harry Sisson to be the Joe Rogan of the left that they keep, you know. That's the slogan they always throw around, isn't it? That's what they want them to be. Was Joe Rogan sitting there thinking, like, oh, wow, I've got to pretend to be this type of woke because otherwise I'm not going to get my foot in the door? No. He gets on his show and he goes, Oh, I've been taking horse medicine recently for my COVID. What was that you were saying about the Jews? What was that you said about the official numbers for the Holocaust? That's like what Joe Rogan talks about on his show. He says whatever the fuck he wants. That's what guys like, is saying whatever the fuck they want. That's like that's a core part of what any Joe Rogan on the left kind of has to be. They have to be sort of like a little bit subversive and willing to say things that are unpopular, right? I feel like that's just a given. Or at least be willing to hear out ideas like that. So the idea that you're forced as a young, you know, male Democrat influencer to do performative feminism is just fucking absurd. That's just totally fucking absurd. Like, no, you're not at all. You're not forced to do anything. You can actually have an honest platform if that's what you want to do.
It would be better if he was less performative about woman-related stuff in the past. Because I think he just is a womanizer. Obviously. He's got like 11 women going on at the same time. However...
Yeah, exactly. So much of Joe Rogan's appeal and so much of the alternative media appeal on the right is like the authenticity versus, what would you say? Authenticity versus manufactured. Exactly. Because it was all set up as like opposition to not only like their political positions, like anti-establishment political positions, where they're like, oh, it started off with, we fucking hate Clinton, you know, Trump's gonna drain the swamp, all that shit. But also, the whole basis of, like, alternative media on the right is, like, the mainstream media don't tell you this. The mainstream media aren't talking to you like we talk to you. That's the whole thing. So for you to just want to create alternative media, but have it be total shill bullshit where you fake everything and you're a plastic, like, talking head for the Democrat Party, like, that doesn't... You're not really capturing what made that compelling for the other side, you know?
If you're sex positive and you're open to casual sex, I think that's just fine.
You won't watch the videos because they're wonder talky. 1. You ignore victims yet again. 2. What do you think your content is?
Yeah, but people are here to listen to me wander talk. Ryle Tittenhouse. You really thought you had one there. Also, I just want to be super clear.
Wait, what was
Probably
that?
one of listening to me
That was
wander
a
talk.
Ryle
Tittenhouse.
You ignore victims yet again. 2. What do you think your content...
Wait, you won't watch the videos because they're wonder talky. Okay, I don't know what it means. You ignore victims yet again to what do you think your content is? Okay.
I think that's just fine.
You won't watch the videos because they're wonder talky. 1. You ignore victims yet again. 2. What do you think your content is?
Yeah, but people are here to listen to me wander talk. Ryle Tittenhouse. You really thought you had one there. Also, I just want to be super clear.
Does Erudite have the word victims banned from her chat? Is that what?
Probably one of the worst things that we do in all of this is we equate very serious allegations like grooming to very high school petty drama. Is Harry Sisson a womanizer? Yes. Does it seem like he was honest about the fact, even though he was honest about not being exclusive with this woman, was he honest about how many other women he was talking to? Sounds like no. Sounds like no, he wasn't, which is not good. That's a bad thing.
It's time to drop the... Dude, people need to get over this. Oh, people online are using words incorrectly thing. It just... The constant, like how long has it been? How long has it been? It feels like 2014. We first started having conversations about, wow, people throw around Nazi too much. Sorry, 1 minute. People throw around Nazi too much. And that was like 11 years ago. Nothing's changed. It's gotten worse. Everyone uses all these words like way too commonly. Like, everyone says Nazi loads. Everyone says grooming for things that aren't grooming. Everyone calls people pedophiles when they're not technically pedophiles. Like, everyone has started using... Like, we're past the point. We have totally, like, crossed the Rubicon on this. The idea that people are still sitting there bitching, like, oh, these words are getting watered down. This is a really important issue. No, this is just how language is now. And you kind of have to just deal with it. Like, how many fucking years are we going to have the same conversation for? Before you just accept that, yeah, people on TikTok use words like grooming way too commonly, use words like pedophile way too commonly, use Nazi way too commonly, use fascism way too commonly. Yes, we know. It's been 10 fucking years.
Thing to do, you should be more honest about it. However, on the flip side, A, you are not entitled to your casual sexual partner's information on their body and what they're doing with their body, right? Especially if it's casual and non-exclusive. You're not entitled to that information. However, if you explicitly lied to these girls, that's obviously bad. The problem is, it's like high school drama bad. It's not, he can never work in left-leaning politics ever again bad. This is obvious. This is obviously true.
Yeah, and for
anyone in politics,
anyone else, it would be totally fine. But because Harry has built a platform bitching about the objectification of women on Red Pill podcasts and has now started living the Red Pill life, he is being destroyed. Like, how do people not get this? How do people not get this? If Chud was outed for lying to women to get nudes from them and saying he wasn't talking to anyone else, do you know how many of Chud's online friends, online associates would abandon him? It's like zero. Like none. I don't think a single one. I don't think a single person would care enough to drop Chud over that. I certainly wouldn't. I can't imagine Nicholas DiOrio would. I can't think of anyone who would. Because Chud hasn't built an audience that cares about that sort of thing. Harry, on the other hand, Harry and Dean and all these guys have all built audiences that care about that sort of thing. They have set a standard for themselves to which they couldn't possibly live up. So that they're owned. They're totally owned. Like, how do people not get this? It's not about whether it's fair for you to not be able to work in Democrat politics or not. Whether it's, like, enough of a slight. It's about the standards you've set for yourself and for others. That's why he's getting torn apart.
Inherently a false advertiser. To some degree, yeah. I think there's a lot more performativity that's required on the left than there is on the right. The right is increasingly starting to do some really interesting purity testing. Particularly, I've started noticing this interesting thing where like the 2016 Trumpers feel a certain level of purity over like the 2024 voting Trumpers, which is very interesting. So Harry Sisson, womanizer for sure, and not fully honest about what non-exclusive means. Seems like intentionally to some degree to have obfuscated, maybe even so far as explicitly lied, right? Here's the question. Imagine the gender roles were reversed. It's a girl. She's famous. She's a political content creator. And she's got 11 different men.
He didn't even cheat. He didn't even cheat. Literally, he's getting torn apart. Forget this, okay? He was talking to women on Snapchat, and one or two of them asked, "Are you talking to anyone else?" And he said, "No. You're the only one." But that wasn't true. That's what he's getting torn apart for, fundamentally. Is he said he was only sexting that one girl when he was actually not. He was actually sexting other girls too. Why are my fingertips so red? I think it's just the lighting and shit. So literally nothing. Like, it's barely anything. It's like, it's wrong to do. You shouldn't lie to people about who you're sexting, obviously. That's the sort of thing that you need to be upfront about when you're in a, like, any kind of romantic or sexual relationship. But it's really not of any importance. It's not like what these guys traumatized over this. I can't imagine that at all. So it's like totally fucking worthless. But he's getting absolutely torn apart for it because that's what he built for himself. He built a career criticizing whatever podcast, criticizing Red Pill for objectifying women, and now he's leading a Red Pill life. You're owned. You're totally raped.
That she's flirting with, she's sexting, she's non-exclusive with, and she's being vague.
Honest response, he made an agreement to delete nudes if he saw other women, so he kept them without permission. Something you're also okay with.
Honestly?
Does anyone who isn't Gigasoy actually care about this, or is it just political? Yeah, right-wingers, there are some right-wingers who are just doing a political thing. There are some Gigasoy people, lefties, who care, who are from like Dean and all that's audience. And then pretty much everyone else is just either, I literally don't care, or, I mean, I don't care, but he deserves it because that's what he made his bed, so lay in it.
I'll just keep racking in your money. Just in case anyone's wondering, Ryle Tittenhouse is like one of the people who are like deranged about me. There's literally nothing I can say to make Ryle Tittenhouse happy, and he just like makes shit up about me. For example, you were defending Stephen, which never happened. In fact,
that's
I said
not
that
true.
He's bad.
That's just not true. She said he was remorseful when he wasn't. She was saying, she was basically saying, oh, well, everyone in that group was sharing around nudes and stuff. She did that. What else did she do in that Turkey Tom interview? She's compared it to just sharing nudes on phones and said, doesn't everyone do that sort of thing? She's done so much downplaying and defending. It's like absolutely absurd for her to try and claim this. Yeah, she's crying about Ryle Kittenhouse. Ryle Kittenhouse is in a chat bothering her, so she's seething. She's seething. So she has defended Destiny. It's absolutely delusional to pretend she hasn't defended Destiny during the course of this. Absolute delusion.
But I don't think that we should completely excommunicate him and kick him out. Harry Sisson is pure evil. If you don't think Harry Sisson is innocent, then you also defend Entertain Harvey Weinstein. Stop sweeping for Harry Sisson. Yeah, basically, exactly. All caps, like that. I'm assuming Cardarius is memeing the trope, right? If the roles were reversed and this was a girl doing the exact same thing, we would probably say, girl boss slay, okay? We might say she could be a little more honest, but more likely we'd say the men that she's sexting don't have an entitlement to what she's doing with her body with other men. She already told them that they're not exclusive.
If she's lying to them, I think most people would say lying is bad. That's the general position. I think. General position is lying is bad. I think most people agree on that, right?
Now, we could be really pedantic and argue it would be better if he was more clear about having other women. Yes, I agree. However, that might also give the wrong impression. For example,
he's a TikToker. Harry Sisson is he's a TikToker mainly. He is on YouTube as well, but he's in like this group of guys who are like, what were they called? It wasn't gays for Kamala. It was like, what is it? White guys for Harris or whatever. This little group of like TikTok like 20-year-old eunuch influencers, Dean Withers, Parker, Harry Sisson. And they would just go around and go to like, you know, MAGA rallies and do epic debates like what one liberal teen versus 20 MAGA BBC, you know, like it's that sort of content.
Possible, because it seems like this is a lot of the dating strategy right now. He was casual with a lot of girls trying to figure out if he was going to be interested in one of these girls, and then when he decided, pulled back from the rest, which I think is allowed. Did you see Parker and Dean's response? Yeah, I mean, Parker and Dean basically fully cut them off, said that they were bad, talked about the victims, and said that they're not friends anymore because the reality is that if they didn't, their own audience would eat them alive. And to be clear, when I'm talking tomfoolery about purity testing and the problem with the left, this is part of what I'm talking about. Harry Sisson does seem to have a very unintegrated form of feminism, right? I don't think that you nearly love and respect women the way you do if you're like this casually open and doing this much casual sex. You probably have a very normal amount, but the very normal liberal amount of respect for women is like third wave 2010 bare minimum, right? That I don't really care for. I think it's actually kind of cringe and bad. I'm really hoping Ryle Tittenhouse will donate some more money. I'm waiting for it. I can see him gearing up.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing this since Lindsay Ellis. They've been doing this since before Lindsay Ellis. She's just the one that makes me the most sad because she's just a nice girl. Okay? What would be better to happen in the left is when something like this happens, we go, okay, first of all, Harry, you probably always had some level of internalized sexism because most liberal men do. Okay? Most liberal men do. And the reason that they do is because liberal Democrats have stuck to lib feminism, and lib feminism doesn't seem to do a very good job of saying femininity itself is respect-worthy and good, and we should value it. It says women can be men too. I've
started countering my my socialized liberal feminism, my internalized liberal feminism. You know, I've started reading Radfem Hitler tweets. That's how I'm. I know Erudite is trying to do that as well. I think Radfem Hitler would probably fucking hate Erudite, to be honest. But I like takes like this. Huge fan of takes like this, to be honest. Only women and the English understand that lying is wrong. Very, very true tweet. Very true tweet here. Very true tweet.
Which is valuable for some women, like me, but not the type of feminism that I care for or I'm interested in. Another thing is, there is no level of authenticity that any content creator on the left can really exist within where they wouldn't get fired because people aren't perfect. People make mistakes. People make human mistakes. Now, there's a big difference between human mistakes and major problems, right? Obviously. However, telling girls that you're non-exclusive and being vague or maybe straight up lying about how many other girls you're talking to is not cancelable. It's just not. Full stop. Is he a womanizer? Yes. Is that in my mind in line with the form of feminism that I like value and the way that I think women should be treated? No, I actually don't. I just also don't even think that that's the form of feminism that anyone's even asking for. What they're looking for is a performance. What they're looking for is respect women, which unfortunately isn't really clear what that means. It seems like it's a lot about vibes. And what we ask for respect for is...
I don't hate you. I disagree. You are giving an honest take. You refuse to have an honest conversation about the legal case not because you're involved, but because you have a financial interest.
I don't. We are no longer financially bound. I am not willing to have...
Wait, okay, but you are going to continue collaborating with him. I hate this. I hate this. She just like will try the most like wretched, dishonest tactics to avoid it. You still have a financial interest. Just because you don't have a business partnership doesn't mean you don't have a financial interest. You are still going to be collaborating with Destiny. You've said as much. So there is still a financial interest in protecting his reputation. Dude, it's so dumb.
Have a conversation about a legal case because I'm not a fucking moron. Unlike you, apparently. This is obvious.
Dude. You're not a fucking moron to discuss a legal case you're not involved in. You can discuss legal cases you're not involved in until the fucking cows come home. How would Ryle Kittenhouse be a retard for discussing a legal case. He could be a retard for things he says about the legal case, but the idea that you're a retard for discussing an ongoing legal case that's happening in the public eye. What's the point here?
So, what's the next steps in my
Yeah,
mind?
this is dude, I was watching some of this in a Discord VC last night, and I was like, dude, I'm sick of just A-logging Erudite. I look at my channel, I'm like, I can't believe I'm pumping out just like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, just videos just shitting on this woman for just being a complete retard. But then you watch her content for like 5 minutes, and she just says the most retarded shit you've ever heard so confidently, in like the most authoritative tone ever. Like, there's no way she could be wrong. She would just talk down to her audience, talk down to people who ask questions, talk down about other people, and just be completely fucking wrong. Just be like completely wrong or like provably dishonest. And it's just like the easiest shit in the world. It's like the easiest React content ever. It's like impossible to stay away from. It's fucked up.
One of the next steps is probably we fix what it means to respect women. We decide whether or not, for example, we want to infantilize women. And if we do want to infantilize women in certain spots, where? And by infantilize, I mean we expect a little bit less from them. When they make fuck-ups, we give a lot more grace. We're a lot more forgiving. We do this a lot. When we talk about this psychologically, for example, sexism often occurs in two forms. There's positive and negative sexism, right? So the negative side of infantilism of women is that people are inclined, while they won't ever say it outright, especially if they're liberal, that they don't respect a woman's opinion as much. When you sit at like the board table, when you're sitting around with a bunch of equally qualified professionals, somehow
You aren't involved
Erudite,
in a
they
legal
just don't
case.
respect you, I think.
Can't give a take because legal case plus have no tie to Destiny Tard.
I'm involved in the legal case insofar as specifically I have private information that is not
Yeah, I
publicly
don't
available.
co-sign this, by the way, going in people's chats and bothering them like this. Ryle Kittenhouse, just to be clear, Ryle Kittenhouse is not, this is JStalk's ex-editor. This is not one of my guys or anything, okay?
From both parties that if I went into, which help inform my opinion, it would be outing their private information that should only be explored in discovery. And I'm not going to out that publicly for clicks. And so that you curious people, who by the way, you don't care about Pixie, and you don't care about Steven, and you don't care about me, you are curious. I'm not going to satisfy your curiosity and step in on a
Yeah, this
legal
Ryle
case that
guy's
should be
weird.
explored
I'm not
by
sure about
lawyers
this
through
weird,
discovery.
obsessed
And unfortunately,
Ryle
I have
guy.
private information from both, which by the way, I don't have all of the information that I'm not going to share, and also informs my opinion. So if I give you an opinion and you say, why do you believe that? I can't answer you without betraying the trust that I have been given, and also with fucking up their legal case. This is why I don't comment about it, obviously. Just ban him. We'll just have to ban you. I told you, Ryle Tittenhouse could not handle. Like, literally cannot handle. I don't hate you. You obviously do. Okay. We'll just have to mute him, unfortunately.
You
Thanks for fighting.
obviously do. Dude, it's just like the seething is crazy. Anytime she's asked questions about this, anytime someone disagrees with her, it's because they hate her, they're lying. There is no room for critiquing her actions or pressing her for information. She will not accept any of it. And the idea that she ever has as well. Like, she wants to pretend like she's open to criticism and shit. She tries this so much. Yet, she goes and talks to fucking Turkey Tom because she's met Turkey Tom in real life and her husband's been out on, like, nightclub trips and shit with him. It's, like, so clear. She was trying to go for the most friendly ground to answer questions on and has not answered any questions since then. She's like a retarded AMA stream where she basically no commented her entire way through and has not responded to anything since then. It's, like, totally insane. But she will try and pretend like, oh, you know, I really put a lot of weight on what people who don't like what people who don't like me think of me. It's like, no, you don't. No, I've never seen you react to feedback in an honest way ever.
Just so it's clear, that's not like a typical Kyla hater, but I do collect a lot of those. I don't know why, but I do. I collect a lot of them.
Dude, like,
and to be clear,
I don't know what. Don't know why. I don't know why. I do collect a lot of Kyla haters. I'm not sure why. Really? Really? You can't introspect and figure out why you've got so many people that hate you just a little bit. Like, that's a problem. If you've got a bunch of people that hate you and you don't know why, that's a really big problem. You should probably figure that out. You should probably spend some time thinking on that and figure that one out. I've got loads of people that hate me. I know exactly why. I'm not confused in the slightest. Very strange that you would have so many people hating you and not been able to introspect on on any of the reasons why any of these people might have a negative opinion of you.
I blame the people who constantly, endlessly, and forever bad faith stream everything about me, despite the fact that I am no one. I'm not important at all. So
it gets a lot of views. Okay, it gets a lot of views, unfortunately.
Back to Harry Sisson.
Speaking of which, guys, 370 people right now, 31 likes on stream. So there's 340 people who haven't liked the stream just yet. Wouldn't mind, please, moving their cursor, thumbs up and clicking it, or pressing a thumbs up on the mobile device. That'd be hugely appreciated. Now, if you want to take your support one step further, you can donate directly through the Stream Elements link in the pin chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat. Buy a super chat, which will highlight a message and read out on TTS, which is over $5, or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF with highlights in chat, and I'll describe it to you. It's discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you put your rat tail in a braid, please? No, I will not be doing a Jedi rat tail braid. That's not going to be happening.
What are some reasonable takes to have? I think thinking Harry Sisson doesn't actually have a good understanding of feminism and wore it as a veil of performativity. I think he cared about feminism in a very puddle deep way, wore it as a veil for popularity, to be a left-wing content creator, but it never actually meant that much to him. I would probably just agree. That's probably true. That's actually probably true of most left-leaning creators. When left-leaning creators that are white, for example, they talk about indigenous lives or black people's lives, they don't care that much. Because caring, in my worldview...
What state prison did you buy that hoodie from? It's flames. Okay, dude. Yo, thank you for the $20 coin tomato. Thank you. Well, crazy guy who espouses revolutionary opinions.
The guy who espouses revolutionary opinions that all boil down to, women will like you if you say all the political takes they want to hear, turns out to only want to FHCK them, with respect being secondary.
Very true. Thank you. These despicable, predatory male feminists, we hate them. Thank you for the $20. And thank you for 5 gifted memberships, Venomous Villain. Hugely appreciated. Thank you, guys.
It informs your behavior, right? It's obvious.
I like the state prison hoodie. I like the state prison hoodie. It goes well with a black denim jacket. It's clean. I don't know why you guys are hating. You guys hate on the fashion choices like crazy. You guys actually should be hating on my wardrobe, hating on my cut. I say hating on my cut, but it's the lack of cut for 6 months, really. But whatever, you know, we move.
Does that mean that he doesn't believe, for example, that abortion should be legally accessible for women? Obviously. He obviously believes that.
The rat tail has to go.
Aiko, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. You're one of those bad faith coverers of me, so I got my eye on you.
Wait, what was that?
This
was that
is not
about
a religious
Aiko?
conversation. I'm watching you. Be accessible for women. Obviously. He obviously believes that. Aiko, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. You're one of those bad faith coverers of me, so I got my eye on you. This is not a Bridges conversation, by the way.
There's just like, to Erudite, there's just like 10 streamers who are all just being insanely bad faith and covering her non-stop for literally no reason, and it's convincing people to hate her despite there not being any truth to it. It's like, imagine the world she lives in, where there's just like 10 plus people who all decide to just get together and start covering you in like the most dishonest way possible, just making shit up, and then everyone believes them and everyone goes along with it, and that's just how you're seen. Well, this isn't reality. This isn't how things go. There's always something happening. There's got to be some truth to it. There's got to be something that it's mapping onto that's working, that's meaning it hits. But she has no introspection. No, zero self-awareness. Is not looking at, why do all these people hate me so much? Why do all these people have such a love? It's just, all she says, it's just bad faith. It's just bad faith. I can't possibly reconcile the fact that so many people have such a negative opinion of me because I think so highly of myself. So they're all just bad faith and I'm going to forget about it. Wow, great stuff. Amazing.
The problem that the left has is we chase out people that by and large are doing good work, that share 98% of our values for things. I've never on defense
Hassan?
someone who did
like,
sex
Hassan, like how you want to chase out Hassan? Like that?
Fucking told you. I'll just ban you, Aiko. Again, there's another streamer who covers not exclusive my content, but covers my content in super bad faith to spread basically lies about me for fun. I've never defended Destiny. In fact, even early on...
Well, okay, wait, that's where she's wrong. That's where she's wrong. No one's doing it for fun. It's for money. Okay, it's for money. Also, what lies is Aiko spreading about her? What has Aiko lied about? What are the lies?
Tom, I said that Destiny did something bad.
Why do you think
What?
the left is very cool with open love but not okay with men?
Guys, I said Destiny bad. What do you want from me? It's bad. What do you want me to say?
Having casual affairs with multiple women.
Oh
Staying
my
besties with someone
God.
who did crimes. In fact, I believe in rehabilitative justice. I think that you can have very, very hard lines with friends and say no. And to be honest, I plan to go down pretty soon and talk to him. I don't know where our friendship will be after we talk. We'll have to see.
Who was that about?
Honest. I believe in rehabilitative justice. I think that you can have very, very hard lines with friends and say no. And to be honest, I plan to go down pretty soon and talk to him. I don't know where our friendship will be after we talk. We'll have to see. Bye, Ico. More erudite derangement syndrome. It's actually nice that we're collecting them all, guys. We can just like slowly work through them. You guys can get some of these
It's
answers.
just like so cap the idea that she's never defended Destiny. Like we all heard her defend Destiny, how remorseful he was on that Turkey Tom video. Like that whole Turkey Tom call-in, it was like mostly defending herself, but then she was always trying to sort of like shave off the edges of criticism about Destiny, like trying to just, you know, make it a bit cleaner, a bit easier, you know.
Isn't that just like ex-editor? No.
He's remorseful. He feels really bad about what happened. Okay.
Ico Rules has been a streamer on the left for years. She's a
Like
pretty
with a
established streamer on the left. She's further left than I am. She's basically disliked me from, I think, my conversation with Chud, which was like my third conversation ever in the space. So yeah. Why do you think the left is very and she's I will say she's super aesthetically gifted, which is cool for her, I guess. I just think that she's dumb and has bad opinions, obviously. She thinks I'm dumb and have bad opinions. You guys can decide for yourselves. Ryle was the editor? Oh, yikes. That's embarrassing for Chislik. If that's the case, I don't actually know. If Ryle is Chislik's editor, that's embarrassing. But why do you think the left is very cool with open love, but not okay with men having
It's embarrassing for all parties, to be honest. Embarrassing for all involved.
Doesn't have a unifying moral system anymore. It feels like a long time ago
that whole situation,
it's to be
just
skeptical
embarrassing.
Of that
Gotta be real.
I
She's
think
right about
everyone
that
should be
one.
skeptical of the level of like trueness to which she's a true feminist. I just hate that on the left, you're expected to perform, to care about all of these things, and if you don't, you will be chased out. I think Harry Sisson and Dean and all these guys probably have to wear. In fact, Dean and Parker have distanced themselves for optics. It's exclusively for optics because they can't have their own audience eating their own. And I think it's a really big shame that the left has become the space where we eat our own unless they're perfect, but nobody's going to be perfect and everyone fears their own woke mob. I think that that's really bad. I think that that leads to people who otherwise can do good work, that are decent orators, that are decent debaters, being increasingly estranged. I think that that's not good. I think the left needs to have a community, and part of community can be going to Harry and saying, hey, this is why it's a little odd that you do this and this and this. I actually think, despite, there's a chatter here. I hope it's okay I say your name. I think it's okay. There's a chatter here named Layla, who we disagree all the time. One thing I really appreciate about Layla is that we can have lots of discussions about disagreeing. But by and large, it's actually Layla who was the one that convinced me to use the label feminist again, because she said it doesn't matter if you disagree with a whole bunch of tenets. If you care about women and femininity being respected, you're a feminist. And you'll have to, if you believe that it's bad or wrong, you'll have to like fix it from the inside out. And I was like, you know what? That's kind of true, right? So the left can have these wrestlings with one another. That's good. It's really good, right? I'm going to be wrong about things. Ezra Klein is going to be wrong about things.
I don't think
there
it's
are going to be
Leia
positions
something.
that we
I think
just
it's what we're
can't
talking
actually
about, not
satisfy
Leroy.
with facts or anything like that because they're unknowable, that we will fundamentally disagree on. But they're still part of the left. They can still champion good things. Harry Sisson can be a womanizer and still be, for example, broadly pro-woman being treated well, having access to medical health care, be pro-abortion access. He can obviously hold all these positions together. I just think it's bad that the left requires this performance. I think it's wrong that Harry performed in that way to be like this like champion male feminist, and it's like, I don't know if you actually care that much, right? I think that that's bad. It's icky, and I don't like it. But.
Yo, Queen, why is there a Larryx face cam on the stream? Dude, I'm sorry, this is just crazy
we have to have
stuff,
grace for
man.
our own and a couple of principled hard lines, which I understand, as Tom said, is two mutually exclusive positions. But we have to find a dialectic here, which is some balance between purity testing is useless and harms our own group, and also not all people get to be in the in-group, right? We have to solve the paradox of tolerance. We have to solve it on the left. Because we need a moral and ethical through line that we can all align around. We have to do it. Yeah, Tom is fair. It should probably be one of the precepts.
I don't even know if she knows really what the paradox of tolerance is about. Like I feel like people overuse the paradox of tolerance thing. Isn't the idea of it being difficult to tolerate the intolerant? It's not just about people being like not perfect feminists or something. It's usually about like people who want to attack free speech, right? I thought that's usually when I hear it used, is basically the idea that free speech can't really withstand it if you've got a bunch of people that are like trying to attack free speech from the inside. You know, like if they're using their free speech to tear down free speech as a concept, you at some point you need to stop them. I feel like, right? That's usually how I hear it spoken about. Yeah, free speech or democracy. Yeah.
Liberalism, like, obviously. I'm just kidding. All right. Now, it's possible that Harry Sisson genuinely is a staunch feminist. He's just kind of some, like, weird third wave, and he cares a lot about it and is very read up on it. Probably not. It's bad that there's a level of performativity that's occurred. I'm still stunned for how 9 beautiful women fell for a soft boy. Jesus. I don't know. He's like, especially they're like all 20, right? He's like a hot, famous, basically straight out of a boy band, but he's like intellectual. And it sounds like he was nice. Like he was also kind to them.
And slightly too old for erudite, sadly.
All right. Those are my takes on it. Let's see if there's any reviews of the drama.
Do we get
that might be interesting for us to go through. Harry Sisson, bombshell. Cringe Democrat influencers, new allegations.
Wait, Bearing still makes videos?
You know who's covered by one of it,
my
actually?
God.
Myron Gaines.
Dude, the fake laugh. Oh my God.
Harry Sisson exposed. State of Daniel. That's interesting. There's like no coverage of it. Interesting. There's not a lot on it. Oh,
Was
final
that
thought.
Grinder and one of those thumbnails? Oh my God.
Boop, 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 boop. Final thought. It's really, really, really important that we reserve morally strong words for morally strong behaviors.
Uh-huh.
Chad did a great review, but I wouldn't watch that because of morals. I mean, yeah, true. I'm kidding. I was actually probably wrong to say that about Chud. I really dislike Chud, but I shouldn't say because of morals. It's because I dislike him all the way through, bottom to top. Well done. Men don't draw attention, erudite.
Wow. So she finally, after months and months and months, only after how ridiculous her standard was pointed out again and again, how she was sticking by her destiny, despite saying Chud had to be blacklisted because morals. After months and months at that point, getting hammered and hammered. The most obvious, wretched dishonesty she's ever engaged in. Or not dishonesty, but wretched principle betraying, or just clear hypocrisy that has ever been, like, most obvious thing in the fucking world that is just so blatant on the face of it, ridiculous. She's finally said, oh, well, maybe I probably shouldn't have said that. Maybe I probably shouldn't have said that. Wow. Crazy. We finally got there. Wow, crazy. Yeah, it might be dishonest too. I don't know. Absolutely crazy.
Myron's video is just him clapping for 11 minutes. Yeah. Moral language. There is a tendency for clips, for attention, but also for getting eyes generally, that we use really strong moral language for behaviors that are otherwise not that severe, right? And this has led to a very bad watering down of words. So the term racist, right? If you listen to Republicans, that's like a badge of honor to be called a racist, right? For most content creators, one of the first things that we'll like often bond over is like, if you've been called Chud is a raging transphobe. I don't think so. I don't think Chud is a transphobe. I just think like he's traded his entire political moral positions for drama content, which is fine. You can do that. I just hate the moralizing that happens on top of it, and I don't like him. I thought you got along with Chud amicably. Well, we used to get along.
He's traded all of his political positions for drama content. How has he traded his political principles for drama content? How is he working against his political principles? The only way I can think of that is she's like, well, Chud, you agree with Destiny politically, so why are you calling him a rapist? And this whole thing, right now, we have to use appropriate language. Don't overuse morally loaded words. Is all about Chud calling him a rapist. It's all just about Destiny. Everything she does, every time Erudite talks, it's just about Destiny. Pretty much every single time. It's all that's going on in her head. It's her only view of politics. It's her lens for everything. It's her lens for the whole fucking world at this point.
Long-ish, and we're both polite. Do you think there's legitimate comparisons you can make between Harry Sisson and historical figures like Nelson Mandela and Adolf Hitler from an indigenous standpoint? No. And you shouldn't, right? White preferentialism and white privilege that is super rampant.
Dude, she got trolled here so bad.
Nelson Mandela and Adolf. Do you think there's legitimate comparisons you can make between Harry Sisson and historical figures like Nelson Mandela and Adolf Hitler?
Like, dude, look at this. Do you think there's legitimate comparisons you could make between Harry Sisson and historical figures like Nelson Mandela and Adolf Hitler? from an indigenous standpoint. And she engages, honestly. She engages, like, totally sincerely, fully earnestly, is about to actually give a response to this in total earnesty. It's crazy. It's absurd. The idea you see a comment like that, and you're like, yeah, whoa, interesting point. Interesting point, actually, yeah. Harry Sisson and Nelson Mandela and Adolf Hitler.
From an indigenous standpoint. No. And you shouldn't, right?
Dude.
White preferentialism and white privilege that is super rampant amongst the liberal Democrat side, that leads to a very shallow understanding of people of color's issues, and therefore a very shallow engagement and performative response to it. It's very cringe and bad. It also has nothing to do with, like, there's no world that you compare these two things because of the extremes. I think this is obviously true. It's bad that being called a Nazi, a racist, a feminazi, and a tanky are all just like achievements you get if you're in content creation. That's not a good thing because it means that these words don't mean anything. If you're really mad,
yeah, we're going to totally change that, Erudite. That's going to totally change anytime now. Yeah, I'm sure people are going to stop using words loosely on the internet. Yeah, any day now, Erudite, that's going to happen. Guys, we need to stop using words loosely online. Wow, brave take. Really brave take. I'm sure they'll implement that any moment. TikTok are going to just... All TikTok teenagers are going to stop just posting crazy stuff, using words that are harsh, that they don't understand. It'll happen any day now, I'm sure. Yep. Like, what a ridiculous... This is such a retarded position, because it's just like, it's so nothing. It's like saying, we need to stop killing people. We need to stop murder. But yeah, murder's like a fact of life. It's like a fact of the world. It's a thing that will always be there. There will always be murders. There are always going to be people who use words that don't quite fit the thing they're describing, but they want the moral loading. That's always going to happen. That's the internet allows people to express ideas instantly with almost like no buy-in, and they don't have to stake anything on it. They've got like no skin in the game whatsoever. So yes, people are going to use extremely strong words for very little justification. They don't really have a reason to moderate their language. That's just how it is. It's been over for like 10 years. You're way too late on this.
I think you just can't be like, man, what the fuck, dude? I thought you were better than this. I think that that's fair. That's a super fair position.
Why is this 2000s emo hair twink shitting on a brave girl boss?
There's no grooming. Man. Sexting people isn't grooming. And all you're doing is you're turning to all victims of legitimate grooming.
And now she's using, immediately, bitches about people using words wrong, then uses the internet retard distortion of the term grooming. Grooming doesn't just mean adult and kid. That's not the only way grooming is used. That's the internet version. Grooming online means any relationship between someone over 18 and someone under 18. That's what it means online. You're using the retard version.
Grooming, which is a very serious problem and a very severe behavior, and you're telling them, you have more coming into the support group, okay? I know you were groomed by like a 32-year-old man since the time you were 8 to do slowly increasingly sexual acts on yourself, and you have an extremely fucked up perception of what...
Like, and then she goes to the most extreme retarded grooming example too. Like, there's no other examples of grooming. Like, this is the archetypal grooming. No, it's not. This is not what most grooming is. Most grooming happens like teenagers, dude.
Consent and sexuality even looks like, because your entire childhood was built and based on hiding and protecting your sexual abuser, who is slowly grooming you to accept increasingly
not like super early teenagers, either like mid-teenagers, late teenagers. It's usually like teenagers that have a little bit of agency, and then an adult can like form a relationship and involve themselves. You know, when I say agency, I mean their parents allow them to be like out in the world alone. Yeah, like high schoolers, exactly, who are like able to like, actually go out and be in the world and meet up with people, and then adults are able to form connections and slowly, you know, introduce sex. That's most grooming cases. The idea that, oh, grooming is when like you're an 8-year-old and a family member trains you into being like a fucking, you know, sex slave. No, that's not most grooming. That's not what grooming is generally used for. No, like that would probably be more like CSA, to be honest.
Sexual behaviors. You also have to make room for the girl that Harry wasn't clear about the level of non-exclusivity he was with them. We're all making a group together now. We're not doing that shit, okay?
Dude,
we're not
can we
everything
please
rape. Just not gonna do it.
Stop with the rat tail. Cut it out. I know. I need a fucking haircut. The haircut comments have to stop, guys, okay? It's too much. I know. I've been aware, okay? I've been so aware. You guys are lucky that I got on camera. You guys are just so lucky that I got on camera at all, okay?
Because then all we're doing is returning to rape victims, like actual rape victims, and being like, move over. There's new seats coming in. Not good. Very bad. Oddly specific. The groomer one. I mean, I've worked with both
lucky
groomers, people who have been charged with pedophilia.
Well, okay, Louis, you're unlucky. Okay, true. You lost $50 from me getting on camera. That's true.
And the victims of it.
Chipping in for the Kuihman haircut
There's a strange
fund.
phenomenon where anytime
Thank
anyone
you
does
for the
anything people don't like,
$5.
it's characterized as something extreme regardless of the validity of that claim. And it's harmful to the words of that claim. And it dilutes
Yeah, two things we're not doing. Haircut discussion and talking about my taxes. Okay. I do not want anyone telling me to get a haircut. I do not want anyone offering advice on my taxes. Okay. I certainly don't want anyone offering fucking... What was the other one? There was something else I didn't want advice on. I completely forgot. I lost it. Oh yeah, telling me to quit smoking. That's the other one. That's the other one I fucking hate. Telling me to quit smoking. Shut up. I'll quit smoking when I'm ready. Fuck you, okay?
the conversation because everyone knows you're full of shit. Okay? Everyone knows that when you call
gay posting
Harry's
too.
behavior
Yep.
exploitation and coercion, that you're full of shit. All it does is make it more easy to dismiss actual exploited victims of exploitation, actual victims of coercion, because these words are so watered down, they don't mean anything anymore. Okay? Have to stop. It's fucked up. Stop doing it. Doesn't know you. Oh. And it's gone.
See, this is what I want for smoke more, don't cut your hair, and don't pay taxes.
Doesn't know you when an answer is technically correct but incomplete. For example, if you compare any two things, but that's not really the heart of the question. I think it's technically a fallacy. Does it annoy me? I mean, I guess. Same way lots of things annoy me. But I'm working on it, okay?
Thank you for $2.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's been long enough. You can have me. You can have me. Don't be loud.
I actually am tempted to upgrade to the SM7B. I gotta be honest, because I want the... I didn't think of this at the time. I didn't think this would be important to me. I got the silver one. My last mic was also silver. I got the silver MV7 microphone. But obviously my mic stand is black. And everyone else has like I mean, Erudite's got the SM7B. Everyone's got the SM7B and it's black and it fits their mic on. And then you look at mine, it's like, it's this silver microphone attached to this black mic on. And I feel like, you know, I'm gimped. I feel like everyone else has got a flyer mic set up on mine. Because it all matches. It's all like one black setup. But mine has this silver. It looks like it's stuck together. Like it's two parts. It doesn't look like one cohesive thing. You know what I mean? Surely you know what I mean. Sure you get what I mean here.
Just felt like a pointed and charged phrase. Grooming? Yeah, I mean, I've worked with a number of victims of grooming, and I have seen like the effects of it, and I really, really hate when we compare other negative things. Like, what he did was just not nice. He was a dick, right? Not being fully clear. Although, to some argument, the women were also not entitled to the information, but it sounds like it's possible that he lied explicitly. And in that case, yeah, he's being a dick. I really don't like when we compare that negative experience, which is legitimately negative, to an actual severe thing. I don't like when we do that, because all it does is it reduces the validity of the claim and the power of this person's experience, which I think is bad.
Wow.
Ashley. Is that pretty much fair? Don't be Robin DeAngelo, you win.
Okay.
The white guilt lady?
Purple hearts in
Literally
chat for
grooming her.
Kuihman's messed up mic to stand color coordination.
Thank you for the $5, Jimberly. Thank you.
Dog by giving it fries. True. Sabrina's still hitting home. Yeah, Sabrina's cooking today. She's on fire! I don't really know what you're asking me, Ashley. The D'Angelo thing? I don't know. I don't know the comparison. Lying is bad. True. Feeling a need to turn all moral actions into the same level of extreme moral action is actually harmful to the social dialogue about morality, which our society, especially because we've kicked church out dominantly from society, which I'm not necessarily opposed to, has to now answer the morality question. Society has to start agreeing and forming some central union of morality. And you can't do that if in the social square, all misdeeds are the same level of extreme misdeeds.
Yeah, this is just like, sorry, our society has to start answering the morality question because people don't believe in God anymore. Yeah, that happened fucking ages ago. Secular morality is actually very easy to figure out. The bigger problem, like, it's like everything she says is just like so dumb. The bigger problem with church being gone is the fact that people don't have community. That's the real problem with church being gone. The idea that we have to solve the morality problem. No, most people just like intuitively, without even having religion, just by having like, you know, laws and education stuff, people figure out killing people is wrong. Raping people is wrong. Stealing things is wrong. Like, we can figure these things out without God. We actually don't need God to figure that stuff out. The bigger problem with church being gone is the lack of community. Is like community starting falling apart and people being totally polarized, not knowing their neighbors, not knowing anyone in their town. These are the sorts of things that church being gone causes a problem with. We need to solve the morality question. No, we don't. No, we don't. I don't know who else is saying this. Who else is saying Southern Erudite? I don't think this is a seriously commonly held position. Very retarded. I think most secular people are totally fine to just where the morality lies.
Because if what Harry did is grooming, then what is grooming? Is that also grooming? Are they just now equally bad? You're just like, we're just going to Mott and Bailey everything so people listen to us? It's not good. No, my previous comment. Yeah, the Robin DiAngelo thing. I don't understand what you're saying. If all these relationships were online, why would he need to disclose other people he is talking to? He doesn't. In fact, one of the annoying things about the investigative journalist is there's only screenshots of what he says. There's no screenshots of what he's responding to. It seems like there's a lot of girls who are feeling maybe insecure about their status of relationship with him, where he outlines again that they're not exclusive, but that they're still special to him. Some girls are now claiming that they've explicitly asked if he was talking to other women, and if he said no, and he was talking to other women, and he's
sorry,
lied.
Spencer. I don't know your message didn't come through. 1 minute. I was going to read it. You look fine, Imo. Mind you, I'm a bogan recluse who lives with hundreds of birds. It's a perpetual homeless mental case aesthetic, so I'm not sure it's reassuring. What timber did you use? Maybe, no, it's like some fucking slats that I ordered off of Amazon. I wanted to watch Kuihman, but Aleric's raid works. Thank you for the $2.
To your partners. Okay. You can also, instead of lying, say, hey, just so you know, when I have casual relationships, I don't really get into who else I'm like sexting and talking to. I don't think it's respectful of that other person. And also, that's not a part of like, that's not a level of intimacy I'm willing to share in casual relationships, right? You don't get to know that part of my body. I think that's also a fair thing to say. Just don't lie about it. And if you did, bad. Anything else? Any last thoughts or questions?
It'd be fire if you had a barber chair behind the curtain and you did like started a commentary barber podcast, like a dude who got hit in the face with a crane. Okay.
Bye, Freya. Enjoy those fries, my dearest. I'm reading a book about the fracturing of subcultures and the speed of change in society in general. It's a rough outlook, less and less shared values, yeah. Am I gonna write a play? Probably not. You're very into this. First time stopping here and I like it. +1 follower. Thank you. Appreciate it. What's next on the docket? Oh yeah, Ben Jordan's video. This is a hard pivot. So if anyone, if she reads this, chat wins. Chat wins today. Any other drama we should get into? Oh, look at. I was just trying to look in. Very normal title and reaction to it, by the way.
Seething over Aiko. Again, despite being herself. Not a good look. Also, seething over Aiko. I gotta be real. If Aiko's getting on your skin, that's a problem.
Stand the thumbnail. Like, why? It feels very weird for somebody who's very far left, very like feministy, to make a thumbnail of me just like looking disgusting.
Well, you know, feminists, as we all know, it's against feminism to make a woman look ugly ever. If you ever make a woman look ugly, you're not a feminist or a leftist, frankly.
Like, why? It's super weird. Really weird. Also, reminder, any content creator that has a GIF of me going, I'm a dog, woof, has never asked me for permission to use it. I don't feel comfortable with them using it for money. And almost everyone who's using it uses it more or less to sexually degrade me as a form of mockery. So, just
Dude, I'm sorry, no one needs your consent to use clips from your stream to mock you. Nobody needs to ask for your consent. She's said this multiple times now. She's constantly bitching that people are using this clip. I'm looking for. Is it called CTE or TBI in my streamable? Okay, I can't see it in my streamable. Like, people do not need your consent for this. I'm sorry.
Hate the orange hoodie, but you're funny, so have my money, smile.
Yo, thank you for the $6.90. Okay. The orange hoodie is just getting so much hate today. It's fucked up, man. Super fucked up. I have to find my erudite barking clip. Where is it? CTE victim. Here we go.
I wouldn't have as much cool stuff if God didn't agree with me. Woof!
It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. People do not need your consent to clip that and laugh at it. That's absurd. That's totally absurd. What a totally absurd standard that literally no one would ever live up to. By the way, she took all this shit, all this heat for the way people use that. All this heat for the way people use this clip. But what's this on Steam? What's this on Steam? The DGGware game? What's this? What's the DGGware game? What's it? This is an official Destiny game, right? And it's all about his enemies. It's all about his enemies and all the terrible things they've done. It uses clips of them, uses voice clips and imagery. Mike punching a couch, that's degrading to him, very degrading to him, very evil. You know what the worst part of all this, guys? You know what the craziest part of all this is, guys? You know there's actually a game. There's a mini game in this game. There's a mini game in DGGware where you're in bed and you have to get a score of 15-2. It's just sexually degrading Cherry openly. And Erudite's fucking crying. People using a fucking dog clip of her that she did on her stream. Meanwhile, this whole game is it just like doing the most like absurd shit against Destiny's enemies, including women he slept with. Like, dude, on the basis of him sleeping with them. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's literally fucking crazy.
Remember that, and if you see it, ask them if they got my consent for that GIF. The answer is no, because nobody's ever asked me. She cooked with that thumbnail? I wonder how she did it. Like, it's really well done.
It's like it's just the most desperate attempt to play victim ever. No one else has ever asked for consent to take a GIF or someone mocking them or whatever. Never has anyone asked for consent for that. Destiny's never done that. No one around him has ever done that. They've all used clips and videos of people without their consent. They're totally willing to do that. There's never been a problem before for any of these people. The moment it affects Erudite in a way she doesn't like, it's a big problem. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Face. It's for sure my face. I was like looking at the brows and I'm like, I think that's my brows. The nose is a little off, but how did she make it look like that? That's me, right? I'm assuming. It's crazy. She's actually pretty good with her thumbnails. Look at that. Don't call Dan. Dan Saltman stands. Is that Dan? Talking to President Sunday. Remember, President Sunday, the person who violated Pixie's consent, leaked everything without Pixie's consent, and accused her of extortion. Normal behaviors.
I apologize for my lack of donations, didn't realize it was so dire. Have some barber funds. Keep up the Lord's work.
Thank you for the $10. Guys, the haircut situation, it's not like I can't afford a haircut. That's not... I don't want anyone to be confused here. It's not like I can't afford a haircut.
Accidentally gaslit Sunday into thinking Destiny was sending him SE donos about Cunny. Turns out using Destiny as the name links to his actual channel. Maybe the orange clashes with the timber?
Thank you for the $10, Spencer. Thank you. That's very funny also.
Don't you think that Harry is actually the same as Epstein? I think everyone who's ever done any sexual misconduct is the same as Epstein, actually. A zombie filter
so
is
wait,
the
we missed that clip, didn't we?
Violated Pixie. Is that Dan? Talking to President Sunday. Remember, President Sunday, the person who violated Pixie's consent, leaked everything without Pixie's consent, and accused her of extortion. Normal behaviors. Don't you...
So she says all that. Just describe Destiny. Just straight describe Destiny. Everything Destiny did. No heat for Destiny. Endless heat for Sunday. She's bitching about Aiko talking to Sunday when Erudite has said she will still collaborate with Destiny. So what leg do you have to stand on? You cannot complain about this, you silly bitch. It's so crazy, man. She is the most wretched, dishonest hypocrite in the world. And I don't think she's even smart enough to know. I struggle calling it dishonesty because I truly believe this bitch is so retarded, she can't reason her way through this stuff. I think she just hits a fucking brick wall when she tries thinking about this and shuts down. I think she's actually that fucking dense. It's crazy.
Do you think that Harry is actually the same as Epstein? I think everyone who's ever done any sexual misconduct is the same as Epstein, actually.
Please look at the camera and say,
filter? I'm sorry, people are actually cool to you despite because you...
You got me to do it somehow.
Just doing that we watch you for you regardless of what people say. Thanks. That's very nice. I am trying to remember. To be clear, there's been a lot of people that have been really negative and nasty, but actually, ironically enough, now to be clear, today's a good day. Yesterday was not a good day. My anxiety was like really, really, really bad yesterday. And when I have anxiety, it's not like I'm a sad girl. It's like I'm a bitch, motherfucker. Don't you ever forget, okay? It's been very helpful. I feel like I've always just put too much weight on people very critical of me's opinion because I'm very afraid of being bad, right? I'm constantly questioning myself in that way. And it's really freed me from being like, oh, wait, none of these people will ever care. And all I can do is try to stick to my principles and try not to like lose myself for content, which is really, really hard, which to be clear is very hard to do. And I don't think I've been perfect. So you need more productive conversations. Yeah, I agree. Largely because you make good points, and even if you make a bad point,
it's like so crazy. Like no one has any good criticisms of her. Everyone is just lying. Everyone's just dishonest. Everyone's bad faith with her. No one has any good criticisms. There's nothing legitimate to complain about. It's so fucking crazy.
I'll explain it. If you didn't, I wouldn't watch. Try. Oh, wait, I know what we're watching. I didn't finish it last night, so we're gonna restart it. Oh, I should set up a donation goal. Hold on. First of all, hello. If you guys enjoy my content, if you think that I'm worth listening to, and even if you don't, please consider subscribing, becoming a member. If you can't, please watch and leave comments and watch my videos after this. I basically can never monetize stream except for the donations that you send in because I swear too much and we can't bleep it out. However, my prepared content that gets released, you know, the stuff that my wonderful editor does, that's the stuff that is monetized by views and I need more engagement with to like make money on YouTube. That's one of the best ways if you want to free
guys,
support.
We're going to move off of this soon, okay? Trust. We're going to move off. We're not going to watch fucking Shion Head stuff. We're going to move off soon. We'll look at Harry and Dean stuff.
Throw on some other content in the background. We're going to watch Shoe on Head, Tom's favorite conservative.
Yeah, and she just said throw on content in the background. I'm pretty sure you can't tell people to do that on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you're like not meant to tell people to watch content in the background. I have it on in the background. I think you meant to say that. It's really embarrassing.
And then I'm probably going to wrap up stream in like an hour. I have some exciting things today. I've been a busy bee, working real hard. Part of why I have to leave tonight is I have a meeting. I need to set up a domain so that I can separate my domain fully from Destiny because he's been nice enough to allow me to kind of keep using my email that is through his domain right now while I've been trying to figure out business partners and stuff. Haven't your YouTube streams been monetized before? No, I monetize them by locking them behind members paying only. Streams are just really hard to keep monetized. It's almost always safer to turn off monetization of stream because
she has a bunch of stuff that's just totally wrong about YouTube monetization here. Okay, fuck it. Wait, oh wait a minute. I was gonna smoke, but